This is actually a really special story. So when I lived in the Netherlands, I lived there for like a month, okay? And we lived in this government conference building, but we also had, you know, the wing where the girls stayed, the wing where the boys stayed. Then we had the classrooms, and we had this huge yard where we could go out and play and kick the ball around, play basketball, whatever. Well, they also gave us each our own bike. And so bikes are really popular in the Netherlands. And so we could ride our bikes into town. And so if we went in one direction, a couple miles away was a smaller town. If you went in another direction, it was the bigger town, okay? And in the process of getting from our place to the other towns, we would ride through farmland, and the Netherlands is known for their dairy cows. So even when we were sitting in class, we would always have the door propped open, and we always heard the cows mooing and the sheep kneeing, whatever they do, right? And so here I was, and Casey and I, this is when he was back lifeguarding at a camp during the summer. And so we would send cassette tapes, listen to that, cassette tapes back and forth just to be able to talk to each other, because we didn't have cell phones back then. It was like you had these calling cards, and calling from Europe over to America was really expensive. So we would send tapes back and forth. And so we would be out on the bikes, and I'd be riding by the cows, and you guys, for a month straight, every time I went by the cows without the cassette tape, they would be mooing away. We'd be in class, they'd be mooing away. Then when I'd bring the cassette tape, I'd be like, Casey, the cows are mooing, listen to this. And then I'd push record, and the cows would go silent, okay? This happened over and over and over, okay? And finally, it was probably the second to last day we were there. And I will tell you guys, this academic program, when we traveled around Europe and Russia for my international business degree, was the most intense schooling I've ever been through, more so than both of my master's degrees. And I'd gotten another test grade back, and it was one of those things, you guys, I was the type of student who studied and studied and studied. I worked so hard, but I could never get the grades that I deserved if you looked at effort, okay? And so I had gotten another test grade back, and I was just frustrated with it. And so I just thought, I'm gonna go for a run. So I went for a run just to blow off steam and process and all that. And I had the cassette tape with me, and I was kind of talking it out with Casey, but kind of just jogging. I get to this herd of cows. I had never gone this way from the house before. I get to this closing where there's all these trees, and there's just this, like, wasn't small, but all these cows, and they are mooing like crazy. And I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, this is great timing, because it totally made me happy despite being so mad and frustrated about all of my effort, right? And so here I am, you guys, you hear this on the cassette tape. Casey, the cows are mooing, the cows are mooing. I'm like so excited. And like, if you aren't there and you're just hearing this on the other side, I probably sound like I was flipping crazy. So to this day, Casey sometimes calls me Moo Moo. Ha ha, laugh it off, everyone.